Right then, welcome back. Today we are going to try and start this lovely XJ900 Diversion. I've had a lot of abuse in the comments saying I don't appreciate it, and I do, and I love all the comments and the views and subscribers, so thank you and welcome. It's absolutely awesome. But yeah, this video will decide whether we're going to carry on or we're not, because if it doesn't start, then we're going to be up a creek without a paddle. So seat off, tank off, fuel tank, auxiliary fuel tank in, squirt some stuff down the cylinders and see if she runs. Ready? Good. Just in case you were wondering, it was a 12mm at the back and it's a little 8mm at the front, and neither of them were very tight, so I suspect someone, oh hello, someone has been playing. So under here, I appreciate I'm sorry the clutch cable's in the way, I can't really move that in a minute. Back there, that's the fuel tap, and there's a hose comes out of the fuel pump, goes around into the side of the fuel tap. Now, like all good eggs, we did a bit of a dry run through working out where everything is using the manual, and we touched the tap and now it's leaking. So we're going to have to try and get it off somehow. I think we're probably going to have to strip. Hang on, I shall show you. I think we're probably going to have to strip all of this off and just get there. The battery's in there, we've wanged the battery in it, and I'll talk you through that in a minute. But yeah, basically to get under there, I think, to get access to it, because it's a little bit fiddly and dark under there, we're just going to take the side panels off and give ourselves a bit better access. So that should now give us much better access into there to let us get to this fuel tap and whatever else. The battery, so after the last video, the bike wouldn't move at all, so the front brakes were seized on. We popped the calipers off, popped the pads out. I appreciate the messages reference the brakes as well, just to scrap them, because you're better off just buying something that works rather than spending a fortune refurbing them. But that's a video for another time. So now we should be able to get through there, especially if I can pop the tank up. Hopefully if I lift the tank up and hold it, Sam should be able to get in and wiggle and jiggle and work out what we're going to do. Right, tank. How much of this going to weigh? 9 tons. Right, you have to come in and look under there so you can see. It is it. Okay. It's been painted. Someone's painted it black. I'm not entirely sure why. Maybe it's had a bit of rust treatment. It's not leaking apart from the fuel tap, which obviously isn't very good, but we can fix that, that's not an issue. Right, next then, we took the tank off, we managed to get it undone. It was a bit of a fight. The hoses are absolutely solid, so I'm going to have to buy some hoses. Oh my god, fuel. I'm going to have to buy some hoses at some point if she starts. Fuel filter looks absolutely rotten. The plastic gone opaque, you can't see in it. I mean, if it's had that fuel sat in it, God knows what's in it. Fuel pump, I don't know if these fuel pumps prime when you turn the ignition on or not, but this one's not making any noise, so I don't know if we have to create a bit of vacuum before it starts doing its thing or not. I'm not entirely sure. I can't remember on Sam's old CBR 600 when we turned the ignition on if it primed. Obviously fuel injection systems are pressurized, so I'm not entirely sure which way around it is, but yeah, we've got to get this fuel filter off. We'll stick a new fuel filter on, then we'll get the airbox off, which we'll move to in a minute, and then we should be in a good place to connect the auxiliary fuel tank up. Stick some lubrication down the cylinders, give it 10 minutes, and then we should be able to try and start her. There she is, absolutely manky. Oh, cool, smells like industrial strength nail varnish. Looking in here, the fuel pump, there's actually, it's difficult because there's wiring loom just here. There's a little hard line comes out of the fuel filter and then into a little rubber pipe, and then that goes into here, and so on and so forth. So we'll have to get this little rubber sleeve off. Stick it on the new fuel filter and just see if we can get the hoses connected up and make a seal. And I'm tipping fuel everywhere still, mega. But we'll get the airbox off next. Right, airbox then, 2 hoses, one here, one there. There should be fairly easy to get off. Yeah, not too bad at all. Little screwdriver to encourage. There's one, there's two, and there is a bolt. I think it's a 10mm at the front, but we'll have a look now. Yeah, 10mm bolt. There's still, I think it's the AIS hose connected underneath. It's a bit of a sod to get to, so I'm going to see if we can just lift the airbox up and encourage it out of its hiding place. There's 4 clamps holding the airbox onto the carbs. We've just got to pop all 4, well, just release all 4 of the screws. What a job, what an absolute job. Look at the size of my trumpets, they're awesome. Yeah, they don't seem too bad. Wow, madness. Right, spark plug time. We've got 1, 2, well 2 and 3, and then 1 and 4 on the outside. 1 and 4 quite easy to get to, 2 and 3 bit of a sod. That's why we've pulled the airbox off, and everything else just makes life a little bit easier to get to them. So we're going to get them out, and then I'm going to squirt a bit of GT85 or WD-40 into the cylinders. Then we're going to let it sit for 10-15 minutes because it's been stored for 10 years, and I'm just a bit concerned that the cylinders are dry, very dry indeed. So we shall get the plugs out. After much mucking about, it finally gave up plug 1. They're a bit dark, but other than that, they're a weird size. None of my spark plug sockets fit, so after gonna, well, work out what it is. Finally, after much mucking about, number 2. They're 18mm, which I don't have, so we're having to improvise because they're an absolute sod, and I mean a right sod to get out. Number 4, that's actually the best one so far. The other 2 looks a bit darker than that, so. And number 3, again, it's not too bad, but dark. Should be alright. So, every man's best friend, GT85. I know it's not conventional, but like I said, I'm scared of these cylinders being bone dry, so right, she's lubed up. I'll give her 10 minutes, just let that soak in, and then we'll see if she starts. Right, we've got fuel, The fuel filter's on. I tried to film it, it was pointless. You just couldn't see anything. The hoses are like absolute concrete, so I apologise for the background noise. The council have decided today, right now, they're going to come and do a load of roadworks just around the corner, so I'm sorry about the still saw screaming in the background. There's not much I can do about it. We've got fuel, spark plugs are back in, cylinders were greased. I'm very nervous. I hope the battery has got enough charge. It's been charged up for about a week, so fingers crossed she goes. Turns over. Right, we've got fuel. I'm hoping you can see it dripping sort of out the carbs. I can't work out if it's coming sort of from the bottom diaphragm or there's a valve open or something like that, but it's not a small amount. We've got a little puddle on top of the engine and we're getting a little puddle on the floor, so there's obviously something not quite right inside the carbs, so we're gonna have to get them sorted, well, basically before we do anything. Not really done it before, but not saying that we can't do it, just a case of unbolting them and follow the instructions in the manual and buy a carb repair kit, I guess. But it runs well. It's close enough to running for me to be excited and for me to want to do more stuff. Right, a few hours later, Not as long as I thought actually. I thought it was going to be a nightmare, but once she got a bit of fuel she started reasonably well. It runs okay. We've got a big problem with the carbs. I'm going to get them off and decide whether I'm stripping and rebuilding them or I'm going to send them to somebody who knows a bit more than me. Everything else, the exhaust blowing like a good one, but I knew that anyway, so it looks like I've got to spend a bit of money. But hey, that was the whole point of the project, so yeah, just one of them things. But come on in. You coming up? Come on, ready, up. Ooh, ooh, hello. Wow. Hello, what are you doing? She doesn't like motorbikes, she doesn't like fuel, so now we're finished, she wants to go out and play. Well, this is Cash, 18-month-old border collie mentalist. But anyway, right, this one's done. Thank you very much for watching. Please keep the comments coming, tell me what you want me to do, what you should think I should do, what to look for, what not to look for, everything. It's absolutely fantastic and I love it, and I'll reply to as many as I can. But yeah, but thank you, and fingers crossed, I'll see you in the next one.